Well, in the category of feature, we had something like 24, 25 different entries. And actually, there was a lot of discussion that went into which story was actually the winner because we each came back with our own lists after watching all of them, and we each had about 10 or 11 stories on that list. And there were some really, really strong entries in that category. But I think the one that stood out the most for us was called Life Cycle of a PBJ. And it was a story about, it started off as a story, you thought it was a story about kids who had made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches feeding the homeless in this particular city. But then as the story went on, there were so many different layers to it. And it kind of became about, okay, how did it get to this point where these kids were able to make all these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the homeless? And there was a nurse involved who happened to be an artist. She painted portraits of these people that were homeless. And there were just so many great qualities about this particular story. The writing was perfect. Shooting and editing was unbelievable, really creative in the way that some of the people were interviewed because they were interviewed holding these portraits that had been painted, and these people got to tell their stories, and you really felt like you got to know these people, and it was really nice the way this was all handled. You get to meet these people that a lot of times people take for granted, and you kind of you get some insight into their lives and their struggles, and how much all this really meant to them. So it was just a really well done story.